Now, it's no secret why athletes struggle in the transition to life after sports, but one of the most important elements is getting clarity and understanding on these 5 components, because without them, you are going to continue to feel stuck, struggling, and unfulfilled. Hey, what's up, my former athlete family? It's Cletus Coffey, the founder of Recovering Athlete Coaching and Training. And I tell you, this specific video is about the 5 P's. The 5 P's of your success in life after sports. Now, when I map this out for you, you're gonna see it and go, my goodness. How did I not remember this? How did I not understand this? See, in my journey, in my transition, I didn't have someone that understood me specifically. I did a ton of personal development work. I did a lot of coaching and training. I read the books. I followed the experts, and it's all great information. Without a doubt, it helped me, over a good decade in processing and understanding myself, how I can improve, how can I become elite, how I can follow my dreams. The challenge was they didn't understand me as a former athlete. So you're lucky you're in the right spot, because I understand you. And it wasn't until I was able to take all this information, process it through the language of sport, something I knew, something that when I retired, I had 85% of my life, I had been an athlete. And so I got it. I understood it once I put it into the language of sport. So I'm going to do my best to do that for you here, and understanding these 5 components and why you had all 5 of these as an athlete. But I'm willing to bet you have only but 1 or maybe 2 of them in your life after sports. So no wonder why we struggle. No wonder why we're stuck and struggling. And you will continue to, until you get clarity on how these 5 elements you once had as an athlete, that you're probably not fully firing on each one of them in your life after sports. So if you want to go pro, and that's the big thing here, most of us want to go pro in our particular sport, not realizing that we can make a ton more success, money, fulfillment, impact in going pro outside of sports. So let's do that. Let's grasp these 5 elements to help you go pro in life after sports. Number 1, and first things first, I'm gonna communicate it to you through you as being an athlete, okay? And then we'll transition over into life after sports. So first, number 1, the first P, passion. We were passionate about our sport or sports. We were passionate about our craft. We really were, it may have taken you through maybe your high school level or collegiate or beyond, or fully lock in on, this is fulfilling, this is fun, I'm passionate about this. And some of you would have said, hey, in fact, you probably heard someone say, hey, the fact that they pay me, I'm talking professional athletes here, the fact that they pay me is just a bonus. I love what I do. The passionate for it. That's number 1. Number 2, a purpose. You had a purpose, and that would have been either to make yourself better, maybe it was to make your team or your teammates better, maybe it was to represent your community or your family, or to become the greatest version, or to reach your highest potential as an athlete in your sport. You had purpose. Maybe it was to make the starting lineup, or to reach a certain level. There was a purpose behind you that drove you, that gave you that fire in you. And that's what purpose does. It's incredibly powerful. Obviously, the performance aspect of it, in how we are doing, how are we improving, how are we growing. And the performance was a big thing of really one of the biggest points of measurement for us in our athletic days. That's how we measured ourselves. Am I getting bigger, faster, stronger? Am I, if you look at the stats, or maybe wins and losses, like how am I performing? Performance was a big piece, because that's where the fun is, right? We get to go out there and we get to perform. Okay, the next is points. Now this was a big one in sport, because a lot of us measured our self-worth, measured our level of confidence, measured our view of ourselves based on the points. And points were important in sport. And I say points, I'm talking the scoreboard, okay? This is, did we win, did we lose? What type of stats are you putting up? What type of weight are you lifting, if you lifted weights? Or what type of races are you competing in? Those type of things. We measured ourselves based on results or the scoreboard, which is important. Those results is obviously gives us feedback, so we know how to improve and get better and continue to grow. So points were a big component of us as athletes. And then lastly, I mean, come on, play. This is what we did. We loved playing. And that's what oftentimes athletes forget, is that we love to play. I mean, that's what we did. And even when it got into a business, meaning if you became a professional athlete or maybe you competed on the Olympic level, that sometimes the business kind of muddies the play. But at the end of the day, you like to play. Even with business in it, you wouldn't have done it if not for the play aspect of it. So passion, purpose, performance, points, and play. 5 key elements that you most likely had all 5 of them. Most of the clients and the former athletes I talked to had at least all of these firing, or several of them firing much greater than others, but they had all of them in some sort of form or fashion, some level, they had them activated. Now, let's transition over to now. And it doesn't matter if you just retired from sports or it's been 20 years. All of this applies to you, whether you played high school sports or you're a professional athlete. You're an athlete, you got in there, you played a down, you got on a team, you competed and trained, you know what it means to be an athlete. You've got that DNA inside you. Now, let's take these 5 Ps and let's apply them to life after sports. And let's see which one of these you have activated, that you're firing on and is part of your day-to-day life. Passion. Are you passionate about what you do for work, for example? Are you passionate about something in particular that just gets you fired up? And is it part of your everyday life? I'm not talking about, hey, I go to work and I work my butt off and then I come home and I'm passionate about being a mother or a father, or I'm passionate about my particular hobby. That's totally cool. However, we get in this mindset of, well, my passion stuff only happens when I have extra time. No. As an athlete, you didn't just compete in sports and then, oh, by the way, I'll do passionate stuff on the side. It was part of you as an athlete. It was just, it was and in both at the same time. So, and you thrived in that. You were fulfilled in that work. And so passion has got to be a part of your everyday life, not just a side thing or an, oh, by the way, I'm gonna do this I'm passionate about. Purpose. What is your purpose? Where is the fight in you, the drive to make an impact, to do something that is meaningful, to do something that is going to impact and serve the lives of others, like you once did for your teammates, and for your community, and for your family? Where is purpose in your life now? And this cannot be. I don't want to make this light at all. This is important. This is straight to the heart here. When you are purpose driven, you made some incredible things happen in your life on some level. And where is that drive today? If you don't have it, now is the time to start to find that purpose. Performance. Now we're going to get into probably the 2 key elements that most people have activated and are firing on of these 5 Ps. The first one is performance. You're probably performing in some form or fashion. Maybe you have a job or you've started a business and you were going through the process of performing and making sure you maintain your job and you've got your income coming in, or your business is growing and you are performing in a certain way to reach your goals and your benchmarks and so forth. So performance is usually a very big tracking point for many of us in life after sports, as is our points. Now I'm going to make a quick shift here. Instead of points, I'm going to call it profits when it comes to life after sports, because this is where most people are focused on. How much money am I making? What type of revenue do I have? It becomes more about profit, which is essentially the same thing, the end results. How am I doing? And again, I don't want to make this all about money by saying profit, but I'm hoping you're kind of getting my point here, that it is a main driver for most people in our society is money. Now, is money the end all be all? No. Is it what you should be chasing? No. Is it important and necessary? Absolutely. So we want to make sure that's part of this process. The last thing is play. What we need to remember is that our brains are wired for play. And this isn't just on the side play, such as I'll wait till the weekends before I play, or I've got a vacation in 3 or 4 months, I'm gonna go play then. No. Where is play in your day-to-day life now? Where is it in your work? Where is it in your lifestyle? Where is play part of your life? Because that's what you are wired for. So all 5 of these elements, when we think about it, passion, purpose, performance, profit, and play. Most people are simply focusing on performance and profit. My friend, you need to remember that you are an athlete. You have an athlete DNA. You know what it's like to be in a place of passion that is purposeful, and you're driven to make a difference and make an impact. And you know how play incorporates into your life. You're wired for it. So what is holding you back from incorporating those 3 things? And in some cases, for many of us, continue to improve performance and profit. And it's important to recognize is you were not built for mediocrity. You weren't. You wouldn't have got into sports. I mean, think about it. Did you join a team and with an intention of, hey, I'm gonna try for this team so I can sit the bench. I want to sit the bench, and I don't want to get too sweaty. I don't want to go out there and run too hard. I don't want to have to get hurt. I'm just going to hang out here on the bench. No, you did not. So what is the reason now why you have transitioned into life after sports and being okay with just sitting the bench? Let's get off the sidelines and into the game. And these 5 P's are integral part to making sure you have them aligned, just like you did in sport. Aligned today. And if you're out of sync with any of them, it's time to invest time into it. Doing the work to identify your passion, getting clear on purpose, really dialing in your performance metrics. How are you measuring your success, and what does success even look like? If you're still measuring your success off of profit or points or the scoreboard, my friend, you have to reframe that thinking. That doesn't work anymore. Are those things important? Yes. You can't control it, however. You can't control what the scoreboard says. You can control your effort and your attitude and how you respond when the scoreboard isn't what you want or your money isn't what you want. You can control those things, but you can't control the scoreboard. So, and then lastly, the play. Where is play incorporated in your day-to-day life? Because when you have all of these firing, I'll just bring you back to your former athletic days and how you felt. And maybe not all the time, I understand, but vast majority of the time you did it because you had all of these 5 components firing. It's time to get them set up in your own life and firing on them. And if I can help support you do that, simply go to cletuscoffey.com/playbook to get started on your journey with us. That'll get you involved in our community and get you started learning how we can help support you with our coaching and our training and our mastermind groups and our groups of former athletes and entrepreneurs are coming together to make a greater positive impact in their life than they ever did in sports. So let's go pro. Now that sports is over, now let's really go pro and let's make a greater impact together.